Hi, Suresh.
Hey, hi Rajesh.
Yeah, am I audible? Am I audible, right? Hello. Hi, Surya, am I audible? Sorry, I'm talking mute.
Hey, hi Rajesh. Very good
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, Rajesh, I'm doing good.
Okay, let's start. Can you please tell me about yourself and your current roles and responsibilities in your current organization?
Uh, sure, Rajesh. Sure. So, I have total 9 years of experience as a technical SQL database administrator. So, I've been working multiple companies. This is my fourth company, and currently I'm working with Cognizant.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a great journey. I've been working since Cognizant 2016 till now. So it's been almost 8 years. It's a long journey with the CTS, and still working on. And I've been involved multiple projects like shared services, which involves nearly supporting Europe clients and US clients and major clients as a primary and minor clients as categorized into period types. So major clients, if you're talking about, we have Norga, we have Bank, Norgus NBIM clients. And coming to my deep technical exposure, I have a strong knowledge on upgradations and side by side involving and migrations doing in place upgrade and as well as side by side migrations with a smooth migration with less downtime. And I have experience enabling the encryptions, TD enabling encryptions for the critical applications, and I have good technical experience implementing high level concepts like always on availabilities and mirrorings and log blueprints as well. And also has been implemented Microsoft best practices across the almost all the environments to ensure the green and smooth operations. And right now I'm looking for the job change since my current project is about near to end the contract near to end. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Good. Thanks. I think this is your second round, right? You have already completed first round of technical discussion, right? So I don't want to go into the technical discussion again.
Yeah.
So I just want to understand
Yeah.
how much knowledge, how much process knowledge you have. So let's get started.
Okay.
What is your
Sure.
backup strategy in your current organization? Like how you guys are maintaining the backups?
Mm, so we have categorized backups in two ways, and every DBA has to be primary DBA as responsible to ensure the sufficient backups to be safeguarded. Okay,
Mhm.
so we categorize above 1 TB databases servers and less than 1 TB database servers. So for the database sizes, which is above 1 TB of databases sizes holding any instances, those instances falls under weekly full backup, daily differential backup, and every 30 minutes log backups. Okay, and the other category we have less sizes. If we can, we have daily full backups and log backups. There is no differential backups.
So in that backup strategy, like how much data loss possibility is there? Like
Uh,
it's 30 minutes, right? Is
so
that acceptable? Like 30 minutes of data loss?
No, it's again depends upon the client requirement. Few of the critical applications we have configured 15 minutes and 10 minutes, vice versa.
Okay.
It's not mandatory to set by default 30 minutes. It's up to the
The
agreement
client
between the
requirement.
application owner
Yes.
and the database
Understand.
provider.
Good to know. Good to hear that. Like, okay, like what kind of a backups you're taking? Like, is it any third party tool that you guys are using or like only a maintenance plans?
See, generally we perform the backups to hold a native disk uniquely, and via we have a Azure Blob Storage container. We have pushing those native backups to the Blob Storage via another task scheduler, and we are not maintaining any third-party tools. There are few old servers which is about to near decommissioning near upcoming near months. Those are still using a native backup tool called TSM backups and Veeam backup tools. Those are still holding it, and
Yes,
soon
yes.
we are using the blob storage backup pretty
Understand.
soon.
Yeah, good. What is the highest database size that you have worked on till now?
4 TB of database sizes, which is very crucial application. That is the largest size I've worked.
How you guys maintain this taking backup, configuring the backups or any rebuild index jobs on the particular database, which is having huge size?
Yeah, good question. So obviously, it will take large time if you map by default a regular method of rebuild and reorganizing jobs via. So what we figure out, like we have split it into two jobs, uh, three jobs for that specific databases, and all other small size databases for another separate job that should not conflict with this huge size DB. So for huge size DBs, again split it into two categories like critical tables and very frequent used tables. Figure out, and we only ensure to maintain the to run those critical tables rebuild index online indexes, because online indexes will be faster than offline indexes. So we made online indexes for those critical tables and a separate job for the large size terabyte DB sizes.
Okay. Do you have any idea when which version like these online indexes are introduced from which version? Nice.
Starting from 16,
Yes.
not pretty sure
I think it is
exactly.
17. I'm not sure, but it is. I think it is 17. I guess. Okay. Next question. The next question. Um, but do you have any deadlines for the tickets? Like any deadlines?
Mhm.
If you
We do have SLAs following um, priority wise, like Save A, Save B, and Save C. Save C can be resolved within 4 working days, and Save B should be resolved within 3 working days, and Save A should be very Save A and P1. Save A is a critical that can be resolved within 1 day, and P1 is there, which is completely down, and that is extremely critical. So these are the categories we should follow in right now.
mhm. Some organization they maintain this priority basis, right? P1, priority one, priority two, ahead that like some of the ticketing
Yeah,
tools they say self
uh, we
seniorities, right?
we 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 maintain critical, mission critical,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then uh, we call it as what do we call save mission critical is the most at most critical and impacting a lot of business, and that is extremely critical. And this critical is in the sense it was working and then down for a while, and still it is trying to up the application, and services are up but still application is down. Those kind of categorized into critical. And then uh, pre- uh, mm, severity, medium, and then low. High, medium, low. Yeah.
As you mentioned, what is SLA? How do you define it? SLA, what is SLA?
Uh, SLA, service level agreement, which is agreed between the uh, application owners, service managers, to resolve the tickets within the agreed SLA.
Mhm. It differs from the company to company, right? What kind of SLA you guys follow? I think it differs from the company to
No,
company.
uh,
I
no,
mean,
there are two categories. Yeah, there are two categories agreements will be there in terms of resolving the tickets SLA, in terms of application down SLA. Suppose if they might be had an agreement between, if the application goes down, they have an SLA agreements between, if completely down, how many time, certain time within you should resolve or to make the application up. Those are different agreements. And with respect to tickets and incidents, there are, as I just before mentioned, like mission critical need to be resolved as early as possible within 30 minutes, and the critical need to be resolved within 1 hour to 2 hours, and um, uh, high severity high, that should be resolved within 1 day, and then medium resolved within 2 to 3 days, and then low which should be resolved in 3 to 4 working days.
okay, good. So as you said, you have some deadlines for the tickets based on the criticality. So what happens, like if any tickets breached, what happens? What is your next step when the ticket is breached?
um that needs to be definitely an uncertain situation where there are chances to miss out the breach of space, and we never follow almost 95% we cover, and there are, if misses, those chances that need to be justified during every meeting review will be there. There will be weekly meeting reviews will be there. Need to be justified with the delivery leads, managers. If that been justification presented with the meeting, then can be avoided, and they can, that should be preventive action. And I'll tell you the scenario, some chances missed by simply routing within Windows team, SQL team,
Mhm.
rotating without meeting the SLA, and the issue got piled
Yes.
up, right?
You're right. You're right.
So there are chances.
Yes.
So that should be preventive action should be come up, and that be reviewed with the delivery leads and heads up to prevent mandatory preventive actions.
Yes, you're right. Sometimes the ticket has to come across multiple teams so that the ticket will breaches whenever it reaches to our team. It happens.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
good. What is RCA like?
Basically, RCA defines root cause analysis. I
Mhm.
used to do the most of the cases to engage, get a chance to review these kind of cases. And RCS are so particular by the clients, and they don't want to do the repetitions to be happen. So to do so, they most likely expect to form an RCA documentations. So why the issues happen, we need to categorize the why, when the issues occur, and what is the incident time frame, and what is the cause that made the incident, and analysis how to prevent, and preventive action should not repeat it. So these are the categorized elements that should be in a documented with a detail. We call it as in our environment post-mortem, just like in the hospital, the post-mortem review of a case. So we need a detailed justification of an incident happened that should not interrupt it. The RCA falls under check DB corruption, service interruptions, memory
Mhm.
spikes, and CPU utilizations. Those are the category cases we used to deal with it.
Mhm. Good. If you're working on
Yeah.
the production service, what kind of a tickets you will be raising? We have different kinds of tickets, right? If you're working on the production level changes, what kind of a tickets you will
Okay. Yeah, we have do follow CAB calls to define like a change board, mm, change advisory board, we call it as, and we have pre-cap on every Tuesday, and real cap will be happening on Wednesdays. And basically, there are three types of changes we can implement, like um, production. We have any changes, product production changes, like implementing doing the minor, major, and emergency. These are the three types of changes we have.
Oh,
Okay, so whenever doing any minor changes like memory adjustment. The recently I had to upgrade the RAM sizes by the OS team, and by the time we need to adjust the memory, we can raise the production minor changes. And the major changes, whenever doing the DB migrations and the upgradations, we can do it. And an emergency change can be raised during the time, like whenever unexpected scenarios happening, which is never expected, and that time we need to raise an emergency, and there's no required any approvals, and by we should be intimate by the cab manager or incident cab manager about the incident, and the supervising manager about the incident, and get approved during the period of the cab calls, and should be implemented. That has particular categorized like pre-implementation, implementation, rollback plans, and are the major categories and severities. These are the gray important areas we should be fulfilled and presented during the caps and implement during the time frame.
so this cab, like who will be there in the cab call or who has to join the cab call from your team? Is there any specific like, person or a team lead or someone?
Mostly, no, no, no. Mostly my supervising manager will be joining, and I'll be presenting the caps as since I was a lead of the team. Under me, we have two L2s. So I'm only the L3 guy available at this moment in the team. So most likely I'll get habitate the L2 teams to join the pre-caps, right? If any mistakes, they will be correcting before joining the original cap next day. So what I do is they will join, they made joining, and the cab advisor review it. If any mistakes, they will correct it and make it ready. And by the original cab, I will be joining and presenting to the onshore delivery managers, and offshore delivery managers also will be joining while presenting the cabs, and they should be justifying what is the outcome if we implement this change.
Hmm.
What should be the profit we gain? That should be we need to justify between while applying the while presenting the caps.
Okay. So you guys do some basic health checks, right? You do health checks for the critical service, right? What kind of a validation you guys
Obviously,
do as part of basic health checks? What are the things you do?
obviously, obviously, as I mentioned in the part of implementation pre-rollback, right? Definitely in that implementation step, last step will be definitely their application sanity checks. So as a DBA, we obviously do services are up or not, database healthy or not, and read by accessing the tables or not, healthy or not, all the agent job services and everything is not up and running, and application server and DB server pinging or not, telnet, everything we do, and CPU utilization, memory spikes are there or not, drive spaces. And we used to do all these basic sanity checks as a DBA, and then we should communicate the respective application stakeholders to perform health checks. By they will do some random reports running, and they do their checks from there. We both need should be communicate and proper communication across the respective stakeholders and SQL instances.
Good. What is the this retention policy for this different backups in your organization? How do you maintain these retention policies?
As I mentioned, it should be full backup will be 2 weeks in the since it is a native backups, and then it will push us into blob. Blob will be holding 1 month, and then it will move to tape. and then blob types will be there, and they will be holding some tapes for longer periods.
How much threshold limit you follow, like you maintain for the disks?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
What is threshold limit? Can you explain what is threshold limit?
For example, there are it can define to a certain period of value that should be triggered by the action. It's called a simple threshold definition. We can set a threshold of a simple drive spaces, like if we have a drive spaces 20% less than, then we can set the SCOM. We are all the our SQL servers are monitoring by this SCOM tool. Then we can tell with the communicate with the SCOM team, and we will tell set the threshold of the drive space is 20%. If the drive space is less than 20%, it should be triggered an alarm to the SQL team that should be very alert, and we and DB should be very cautious to be dive into the issue and looking into the issue.
So whenever it reaches to the 80%, the tool itself it will be triggering an alerts, right? Is that you're talking?
And that's right. For example, if you have a drive space of 100 GB, then you only have 20 GB free space, then the alert will be triggered.
Mm.
Which means if any drive space is less than 20% free space, it should be triggered the alarm as a
Oh,
SCOM.
okay, fine. So if we have received any disk space alert and you don't have, I mean, you have nothing to free up the space, you have to add the space. So how much space you requested for, I mean, the server team, like how much space you're requesting? If it is, just
It is
imagine it is 100 GB
if
of drive, it is almost full. We don't have any free space. So how much space you request for, server team? Is there any kind of percentage?
actually, basically, drive spaces can be expanded. We should not expand it whenever the drive is online. The first point.
Mhm. No, that's fine.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say,
So,
look, if any
but,
kind of limitation is
yeah,
there,
yeah.
if there is no limitation,
Mm,
some guys like they ask for
mm,
50 or 100,
mm,
they ask for 200 GB
mm,
also. But sometimes we have some limitation. This kind of space we have to ask.
mm,
This kind of any limitation
mm.
is there.
I don't have that
I,
knowledge, but I can say we reach the Windows team, they will provision a separate disk, and we don't have to expand the existing drives, so we need to move the databases within the downtime, approved downtime, into the newly provisioned disk. Then by then only we can free up the space and balance it.
okay. It is 20% only because we have to maintain, as I said, you have to maintain 20% of disk space, right? Free space. So
Mm,
we can ask
mm.
if it is threshold, it is 20%, then we can ask 20% of the free space itself. Okay.
Not like that.
I mean, as I said, the threshold limit is 20, right? So that means we have to maintain
Yeah.
20% of the free space. So if we can ask 20% of the free
Mm,
space to be added, then it's fine, right?
mm.
That is almost good.
Obviously, alarm will not trigger since, yeah, yeah, that's right, true.
Good. Fine. So yeah, I'm good. We have a good discussion. The HR will get back
Thank
to
you.
you for the further process.
Sure,
Thank you so
I
much. Yeah.
hope
Thanks for your
I
time.
had delivered all the questions. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Raj.
you are.
Thank you.
Yes, you
Nice
are.
day.
Yeah. Have a good day. So, thank you.